where's he hiding?
Oh, he's right behind you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And it is hot. It is hot as a depot stove up here.
Oh, you know what? You need to get one of those little Arctic airs and just put it up there, because they're not good for cooling down a big place, but a room, if you get it started early enough, would keep it at a decent temperature where you can stand it.
Yeah.
If you don't have any air up there, yeah, you need something like that.
I just have to roast through it, I guess.
All righty. So remember, the ladies are watching you this morning. It's about 37 of them. That's in Arkansas.
I got her. The paper that I left up here is Melanie Lacey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melanie Lacey.
Yeah. Yeah, they watch you before they get involved, before they start their own session. Okay, hold on. We got about 1 minute. Okay, I'm gonna run your commercial and we'll be ready.
Okay.
Is Byron there or is he remote today?
No, he was here. He was here, but he left about 5 minutes ago, maybe a little. In fact, he just called me, and then I called you, or you called me. But
okay, no problem.
Yeah, and he said I think he said he's gonna get you to get the payment to you.
Yeah, no, he did.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I already sent it over to the hosting service. What did it say? It doesn't even go to your pocket, it goes through you.
Oh boy.
All right, we got about 20 seconds.
Yeah, I'm probably sweating like a Jew when I shouldn't say that like that.
Too late.
Yeah, boys. Oof.
All right, here we go.
Okay. And good morning, people everywhere. It's a wonderful day here in Inglewood. It is hot upstairs here in the beach in the program room where I am, and I guess I will have to, as they say, sweat through it. But we're going to give it a yeoman's shot at it. And first of all, I want to acknowledge some folks down in it says Little Rock, and that's the group that's headed up by Sister Melanie Lacey. I want to say kudos to you folks for doing whatever you're doing. We need more people to just get together and help a lot of these folks to have better lives. We're constantly getting people coming in here with health issues, and some you'll have to almost, tell them, not just tell them, but you got to give them all kinds of records and different things so that they can actually take advantage of getting their own health back. A lot of folks come in with problems, but they don't always want to do what they need to do, and because they don't already know what to do, then someone has to do a little coaching, and that's what we do. And we want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to get their health back, because usually the health is out there, and folks have different kinds of illnesses that they are dealing with, anything from sneezing to cancer to whatever. And a lot of these things can be corrected if you just spend the right amount of time cleaning up the body. The body will heal itself if we do what we need to do. And over the 40 plus years that I've been a holistic doctor, we've met a lot of people in a lot of places, and many of them call today, and some I don't, you don't even remember them because it's been a while. And then there are others that they do, remember you, and it's always nice to have, people that had been in some of your programs and had good success. And that's what we always want. We always want to make sure that people, get better. And so this morning, we want to welcome, as I said, welcome our folks from Little Rock, Sister Melanie Lacey's group. And it's good to know that there are people that care enough about their bodies to do things and get involved in so many different things. As when I was doing a lot of traveling, I did it all over the U.S. and out of the U.S. And I know 3 or 4 trips into New Orleans, and with my good friend there, that his name his and I wouldn't want him to know that I couldn't call his name out right now. But a lot of things get away from you, and then they pop up later when you're not thinking about it. But yeah, his church is in Louisiana, and wonderful guy. In fact, he passed through here it's been over a year now. He was going on his way to Africa and said he would, stop by on the way back. But I guess he got too busy when he was on the way back, because I didn't get to see him that time. But we are good friends and have been for quite a while. And that's one of them among many. But I would say he was a pretty special guy. Minister, bishop, a lot of those, all those accolades. So today we're going to go further into what we talk about here. And what we talk about on this program is how to overcome things that you don't want in your body. How do I fix this? Well, one of the first things we find out is that we have to be open-minded, because if your mind isn't open, and it's, as my mother used to say, if your brain is locked, then nothing can get in. And so we want you to open up, and something you may have been taught in the past, and if it's not working for you, always be willing to look at something else. Don't just keep going down the same road when you keep stubbing your toe on the rocks, and you just keep going back. Next thing you know, you won't have any toes left. And so we want to make sure that we can reach out to those who want help. And we've been doing this for quite a while. I have my longtime assistant, Mary Young, who is she's back in Mississippi now, and she's happy and she's doing great, and I'm happy for her. She spent about 30 years with me, off and on, and most of it was on. And so she's well. She calls me occasionally and see how I'm doing, and that's good. When you have a real relationship with somebody, a good friend, so nobody get the wrong impression. When you have people like that in your corner, your corner is not crowded. It has it has a lot of good things there, and so we definitely say kudos to Sister Mary. And people continually ask for her, and that lets you know that she touched somebody other than just me. It was a lot of other people that came through in those years that she was here, and she was always friendly and And that's what you need. You don't need anybody running people away. You need somebody that's helping you to bring people in for the right purpose. And the right purpose here is getting your health back, getting the sludge and the mud and all of the stuff that's in your system that has been brought in by putting the wrong things into our body. And we know a lot of people are eating things that they shouldn't even go near, but we do it and we think it's something wonderful. Constantly hearing folks talking about how they love this and love that and love this and love that, but they're standing in my facility, asking, how can I get rid of this? How do I get rid of this? My chest is all clogged up. I got all this, too much mucus. And well, yeah, it's what you're eating. You keep eating a lot of mucus, you're going to have a lot of mucus. If you want to get away from it, start putting more natural plants in there and stop killing them with too much fire, too much heat, and you will see a major change in your life. That's all you got to do. You got to make a change and be the change that you want. Just be the change that you want, and just cruise on down the street. But this is how we regain the things that we lost when we didn't really know what we were doing. We just knew we would see certain food and we just hopped on it because we like the taste. We like a lot of sugar. We like a lot of, greasy things, fried stuff and vegetables cooked to death. None of that has life. We are promoting life and doing it more abundantly. So whenever someone comes in to the Holistic Health Service now, we chat with them, we share with them, and we listen. We don't just take over and say, you got to do, got to. No, it's going to be a conversation. So you will get to talk, and I will get to talk. If your talk gets to be wrong too long, then it basically will be over, because I'm not going to, as I say, match axes with anybody. I've been through this for many, many years. And, so anyway, somebody just sent me a message saying stop doing something. But anyway, I'm looking at the screen here, and I don't see me doing anything that I shouldn't be other than talking. So now my screen is blank, so I can't see it. Anyway, what we do here at the Holistic Health Service, Dr. Rabb's Holistic Health Service, we share knowledge with people who have problems. And if they really want to solve those problems, then it's a place where you can come and we do the best we can for you. And we have had much success. And I wouldn't say failures, because the failure doesn't happen unless the person doesn't participate. See, if you didn't do what you needed to do, then it's not going to work. And so anyone who is suffering some type of malady, wherever it may be in the body, if you do the right things at the right time and for the right amount of time, you can overcome all of that. And so this is what we offer here, that we can counsel you, we can talk to you, we can provide things that you can use to restore your health. Well, we've done it for years and years and years, and God willing, we will do it for longer. We don't know how long. I just had an 80th birthday, so I'm still standing up and still walking and talking and doing whatever. Who knows how long that's going to, it's going to continue. But I'm praying that it keeps going until God decides it's time for me to go to another place. But our goal is to reach out to people who need help or who want it at least. And one thing I don't particularly care for, and maybe I shouldn't even be sharing that part, but the truth will set you free. And that's when I attempt to share the knowledge with someone and tell them about the products and how they work and what you need to do to stay the course so you can get the health back. And then you get some kind of blowback that's, I don't like this or I don't like that, whatever. So around that time of the situation I usually just kind of back out of it because I don't have time to fuss and fight with somebody over their health. If if you have a problem and you want to get it solved, then follow some of the things, excuse me, follow what we put there for you, because we didn't just start this yesterday. So mine goes back into, I think I was 30, 36, 37 years old when I started studying this. And I just had, as I said, my 80th birthday, July 5th. And I'm looking forward to some more birthdays. So I don't get stressed out. I talk to people and I listen. And if they're not listening, and I can tell that if by what comes back, then I will share it with my able-bodied assistant, because she's probably a lot more casual than I would be, but she knows what she's doing, for one thing. But I just don't, excuse me, at this age, I don't need to be fussing with anybody about anything. Just gotta take a little water in here. But see, life is a precious commodity, folks. And if you don't care for yourself, and you don't take care of yourself, then who will? And when you seek guidance from someone, and even if you don't want to do what is being said, if it's making sense and you are trying to restore your health, then there shouldn't be something, a lot of off the cuff wording, when I think for 40 something years in this program, I've helped a lot of people. And so I think you ought to listen a little bit, even if you don't listen a lot. And because this isn't coming from just somebody just throwing something off the top of their head. No, I've been through a lot of things and met a lot of people in a lot of places. And we've had a lot of success. And there are folks that called me that I haven't seen in years, and some of them I hardly remember. And then they say a few times and where they met me and all of that, then I remember. But people call you from distant places, and they do that because something done for them by you made sense. And so we have lots of clients that come in that, where the first time they came into this place, they may not have been as open as they are now. But it's like a person come in, just give you a hug, and the brothers will give you a handshake. They may not do a lot of hugging on you, but the sisters they don't mind giving you a hug, and they appreciate what you have done. And that's basically what I'm doing still at this young age, is doing what I can to help make this a better place for people. And I've been stepped into this a little bit. I usually tell you about this up front, but anyway, anyone who desires to, listen to this program, they can do it on Facebook and YouTube. And it's Dr. Nathan Rabb would be the person that you'd be looking for on there. And we do this every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I come up into the studio here and we talk, we chat, we lay out some things that people can do in order to get up again. We don't want to keep laying down unless it's time to go to bed and you lay down, you get your rest, you get up, you get at it again, you start moving. So if you are a person that right now you are unable to do much moving, then you need to be doing something to get your body back into proper perspective, proper health state. And if you, and that is the best way to, to get your health back is to work on it. But you have to be willing to let go of some of the stuff that you've been hanging on to for umpteen years because you like it. There are many people that will not do natural medicine because it don't taste good. Stuff like that. If you are sick and your body is threatened with, changing and leaving here, you need to get some good stuff out of the ground and put it fix it in a way where you don't kill it all and start getting it going through your body so it can flush some of the stuff out that is built up over the years. We have many people call that have, problems in the stomach area. A lot of mucus is showing up, and we have folks that come in and ask for slippery elm gruel. Slippery elm is very good at helping to get that sludge out of your chest and your stomach, and this is, but how do we get it in there? Too much grease, too much stuff that your body didn't need. And so this is how cleansing is all about taking time to back away from your heavy eating and go on a cleanse. Maybe do a month. A month won't hurt anybody, but it could help you a lot. It could help you a lot. So this is how we get better. We get better by doing better. If we put good, healthy, plant-based nutrition into the body is going to respond to it. And so we have products that the products have the life in them. And in order for you to get it out of them, you have to stay the course. You can't change it the way you want it and expect it to work right. No, you have to follow the plan. And see, the plan has been there for quite a while. I learned from someone years and years ago, and I taught a lot of people as I've gone along this road. And I have no qualms of sharing with someone. If they ask me a question about something, whether they purchasing something or not, that's not the case. Now, if they want something, and sometimes folks want too much for nothing, but when you go into anyone's place of business and they're doing things there that can help you, then come prepared to get some things that's going to help you instead of just strolling around, walking around, looking at the walls and walking out. We are here to assist folks in getting better, and we know how to do it. I've been doing it far too long to not know how. And even over that period of time, there's some things get away from you, but then you work back into them. How do you do that? You get somebody in with you that can even help you to get all of that back. Why? Because a lot of times if you're just doing things more or less on your own, it's easy for things to happen. As I had a little vision issue and getting that straightened out. And then there's some, other little things that can get a little stagnant at 80 years of age, but there are people who have no issues. So my goal is to rejuvenate so I can continue to assist the people who come in, because this is a labor of love. And that's why any time that if someone comes in and they're a little sassy or whatever, like sometimes people just they're not real cordial. And then, I don't yell at anybody or nothing like that, but I will walk away and leave you talking to somebody else if you're not making sense. But if you are, we can have a conversation. And the idea is that I'm sharing knowledge with you that I've gained over 40 plus years, and you should be listening so you can grasp some of that and get your body back. Don't let your body get stolen away by too much meat and bread, too much sugar, too much, all of these things that erode your system. This is how we avoid a lot of illnesses and stay healthy, by putting good, healthy plant-based things into your body. I'm sure you, every now and then, if you want to have a little something, that may be okay, but if you're already sick, it's not. If you already have a problem, your body is failing, you need to stay as far away from all of these fast foods and different things like that. You need to stay as far away from them as you can. Get as close as you can to natural, to the, we take leafy greens and make teas out of them. And the tea goes through the system and flush a lot of the garbage out of out of your body. And so this is how we clean up. The body has fluid level, it has fluid areas, it has, you got a liver, you got kidneys, you have gallbladder, all of these things need to be cleaned up. But if we never do that, somewhere along the line, there's going to be some problems. So the life you save may be your own. And whenever you have a situation that's, and I don't get involved in somebody say, well, I don't, my doctor this, my doctor that. Well, you and your doctor have your thing. But when we are working with people and they have issues that need to be taken care of with some good natural foods and natural things that have been processed properly and not destroyed through too much heat and all of that, and start moving these things through your system. And most of these things are, they're raw, and a lot of them, but they put into liquids, and we don't boil them. We bring the heat up to a certain level and then shut it down. And that's enough for it to, in fact, a lot of these plants will release their juices and whatever without you putting any kind of heat. But some of the things that we do, well, they're dried. We dry them, grind them up, and then we have them in little pouches, and you make them into a tea. But you don't boil it. You bring it to a boil and you turn off the fire. So you still have some life in it. Because if you kill the life in it, then you're fooling yourself. Same thing with food. We need to eat lots of leafy greens, but we don't, folks. It's not about getting a sack of greens and you're gonna put them in a pressure cooker and so you can eat them in a half an hour. It's all dead. There's no energy in dead food. So you're eating for taste. And there are a lot of people who do these things just for the matter of taste. I like this taste, and you put all kinds of stuff in there. We have to learn how to separate some of those and do them in a way, especially if you are attempting to overcome a malady. You can't keep doing the same things that made you sick and think it's going to get you well. That's insanity. No, you have to make some changes, and it's not for 2 or 3 days. Every time I hear that from someone, I say, now here's somebody in a hurry to fix their body, and yet how it can't happen. See, whenever we have our cleanses, our it's at least a month that you're going to be working on that. And if it's somebody who's only doing it once a day, then they're going to do it longer if they actually want to get their health back, because it's nothing happens overnight other than problems. But when it comes to cleaning up your body, getting rid of the sludge that's in your liver, getting rid of all of the things that you're trying to get out of your liver, so you don't have to go out and give up your gallbladder like a lot of people doing, and that's something you should never do. And we have folks with kidney problems, and we provide them with teas and different things like that. And if they follow the plan, they get good results. But there are those who come, and there are those who will come back again. But there are those who you see and you never see them again. Why? Because they didn't like that. They wanted to get back to the pork chops and all of the things that they like, and the fast food, Jack in the Box and McDonald's and whatever. That's where a lot of folks spend a lot of their time or their money. But the body needs healthy plant-based nutrition. And if you're a person who wants to eat a little bit of flesh, then eat it with the vegetables and not with bread and things that are clogging up in your gut, because that will not help you. And you can see a lot of folks walking around with large stomachs and large backs and whatever. And this is because they've been eating too much of the same stuff, just too much of that so-called food that swells you up inside. And then we get a problem, we go to our doctor, and right away they'll start telling you have this and that and the other. And we have people coming in here with all kinds of drugs that they've gotten from a pharmacy. And through the years, I've seen bags of pharmaceuticals come in from that people had gotten from their doctor. And no one should be putting that much stuff into their body. And those aren't plant-based things anyway. They're not, it's not the same as going out and saying you have a garden and you plant some collard greens or some spinach or whatever you do, and you don't put any stuff on it that's not, you put a little mulch and different things like that. You don't put toxic stuff on it. But when you put all this non-organic stuff on there, then it's just like the folks that go out and spray things on the field. You see airplanes flying over dust. When I used to do traveling a lot down into the South, because I was born in the South, but I've been here in California for a very long time, but I used to make a lot of trips down there. And you'd see planes dusting stuff over, the fields, and a lot of that was, what they were doing was putting stuff there that was not necessarily healthy for you to be eating. But folks would go into the supermarkets and load up. So learning how to eat to live is very important. So it's not so much, but it does what you eat is very, very important. How much of it is very, very important. And knowing how to back away from it is also very necessary. Because if we want to have longevity, as they say, and have a long life, you have to act like it. You have to act like you want to be that way. You say, well, I want to see if I can, stay out of the way of somebody running down the street on a car or something and run over me. If I can keep that out of my life, then I want to be able to, it's using the minerals, the things that have life in them, that has a lot of energy, that when you put something into your body that has a lot of energy in it, it goes up to your limbic system, up to your brain, up to your your brain, and then out into your conscious mind, and all of it is energy, and it helps to heal the body. So that's how, if you want to be healthy and you want to live a long life, then start changing what you're doing. It's okay maybe to have a little bit of something here and there, but don't make that your mainstay. No, this should be the other way around. We should, do the cleansing and take care of the body. That should be priority one. And then with the little things we do, say, well, I just want a little bit of that, a little bit of that over there. But when we're doing it every day, not good, not good. And I've witnessed lots of it over the years, and attempted to help some folks. And it's obvious that we've helped some, because the way when people show up, they come here and then they found out that I had just had my 80th birthday. Some of them went into almost a state of shock, because they say, "You don't look like this." And it's, well, I think that you said that. I'm thankful, and I thank God for keeping me this way. And whatever little maladies I've gotten into my body, I'm working to get them out. So it's all about taking proper care of your health. And I will freely admit that there was a time when I was traveling so much and on the road and going to churches and other places where I was going to do seminars out of the country, in the country. It was a joyride, but I was doing it because I just loved meeting people and being able to help them make a difference in their life. But you have to be that kind of person. Otherwise, you just look out for yourself. But see, I grew up in Jenkinsville, South Carolina, on a farm with my mother and all of my siblings. And my dad was around until he was 95. And he had one kidney for, I don't know, a major part of his life. But he was a minister, carpenter, a wonderful dad. And, but if you didn't do what you're supposed to do, he'd let you know. And so, sometimes as kids, we want to go play with the other kids, because some didn't have to work like that. Some of the people they weren't working their farms. They were just working jobs where they could get jobs. But we had both of those. My dad would go and build houses for people and barns for people, and all those things. And then he would go and we would haul hay to bring back to the barn. And we'd go haul in watermelons. All of that was part of growing up. And yeah, I tried to shy away from some of it. I just, wanted to go play with the other kids. I figured they're playing, I should be able to go play some too. But, you live and learn. And when you get to a stage where you've been around the mulberry bush a time or two, and you've learned something, because my early days going in the military, getting out of the military and going to work for the like McDonnell Douglas and Continental Airlines, and those are that I got involved in the aviation branch, building, working on airplanes and all of that. But at the age of 30, I think it was 35, is when I started slowing up for that, and I learned about natural, and it caught me. It just swept me up, and I put most of my energy into that, and then I worked my way away from the airline industry and started doing holistic health, and it's been that way ever since. So God has been very good to me, and I'm just doing what I can for fellow man. So whenever someone comes into Dr. Rabb's Holistic Health Service, if you come in for the right reasons, you're going to be treated real nice, because we do that. But we've had people that just, I don't know, it gets to a point where I have to leave the room, and I leave it to my able-bodied assistant, because she can put up with that a little bit better sometimes than I can. So, but anyway, like I said, we help whoever we can. If a person comes in and they want help, we have things that we can do to help you, and we're adding more things to the mix, and that's one of the things that I'm also pleased with for my assistant, as she's actually prodding me a little bit in a nice way to let's do this, let's do a little bit more of that, do a little bit more of that. People are buying this, and so you open up to it. You open up to that and provide what if the people, if it's something that's good for them. Now, if it was some junk, of course, it wouldn't be happening. But something that can be beneficial for a person's health, I'm all for it. I mean, a little more work, hey, I can handle it. I'm just a youngster. Remember, I'm only 80 years young, and I thank God for letting me be here this long, and I'm praying that God keeps me here a lot longer, because I have a few more rivers to cross, a few more bridges to cross, a few more hills to climb. I haven't finished my work, and I want to go as far up this hill that I can. The goal is to just be a friend to man and woman, helping whoever I can that comes in and say, help, can you help me? That's what I've been doing for all these years. A lot of it happened on the road. Some happened here at two or three different places where I was before I got into where I am now. Been here 22 or 23 years. Was over in Los Angeles for a number of years. Started out working out of my house in Los Angeles for a lot of years. So the total is in the 44, 45 years. And I'm not tired yet. I'm not tired yet. I look forward to the next day. Now, to be totally honest, every now and then you feel like you would, man, if I could just sleep in. But if it's Monday through Friday, no sleeping in. Saturday, I might sleep in a little while. Then there's always going to be something else to do. Laundry, because you usually can't do that in the middle of the week. You have to, Saturday you get it and you go out and do your laundry. Uh, things like that. And then Sunday you go to church. You still have things you do, but you have to put your things together in a way where it's not jumbled up and you got you going, here, too, and there, and whatever. But you have some organization to your life and organization to your program and organization to whatever it is you do. And when the people come in, if you sit down with them or whatever, because it's a little different now than it did was some years back before this so-called COVID-19 stuff started I guess it was last year before, whenever it was. There was different things, I used to counsel people in my private chamber, but we had to back away from that and start doing it a different way. But there was a time when, people would come in and they would even pay for their consultations and whatever. Now we just have people come in. If they want to buy some products, then of course they have to pay for that, because we all are also having to pay taxes and those things. So, but we're still here for the same purpose that we were here in the beginning, and that was to give something to mankind that it could use to overcome his maladies. And some of us make ourselves sick, and then we don't know how to help ourselves get well, so we go to the doctor, and a lot of the doctors they're not doing natural realm things, they're doing pharmaceuticals. That's what they do, and so that's what you get. And as I said, I've seen folks with bags full of pharmaceuticals, and they were still coming here trying to figure out how they can get better. Well, because you're doing the wrong things. We have to study to show ourselves approved. A workman is worthy of his hire. We have to work at it. You can't just think that, oh, it's going to happen anyway, and I don't need to do anything. I just walk around and things going to happen. No, it's not. Life isn't like that. You have to put forth something. You got to put in some energy to get some production out of something. You have to put some time in. And in this society, there are a lot of things happening day by day, and we see them all up and down the boardwalk here, all up and down the street. There's a lot of fast food places, a lot of other kind of places, and there are lots of them. I mean, the people are buying. They're going in and buying the stuff from Jack in the Box, McDonald's, whoever. All of these people they're selling things, and people are buying it, and much of it has nothing to do with nutrition. And if you're just putting something in your body because I want to be full instead of being fed, because there's a difference in food and being full and being fed. So you can be full of a lot of stuff, and it could be making you sick day after day after day. But if you are properly fed, then that won't happen. If you're properly fed and you go through a good cleanse and flush the body, flush the all of the different parts of your body need to be cleaned up, and you can't clean them up all at the same time. There are things that you do in stages, but when you do it and you have patience, then you get the results that you're seeking. But those who are looking for a miracle in a bottle, you have to keep looking for that bottle, because natural medicine is not a joke. Natural medicine is real, and I've seen the evidence of it for years and years and years, and so has a lot of other people, because they still come here, and a lot of the folks come in and the men shake my hand, the ladies hug me. Either way, it's all good. and it's been going on for some time. And it's a labor of love. I've probably said that a couple of times already. But this isn't something that I do just because I have nothing else to do. This is something that I do because I have done it for 40 something. I don't even remember exactly how long, 44, 45 years. And I had some great times traveling, had great times, even staying with some people that allowed me to stay with them while I was there. And just all over the place. Went to Spain at one time, and just probably a bunch of places in the United States. But it was all part of a passion that it got me somewhere in my latter part of my 30s. Because prior to that, I was working every day. I was an aircraft mechanic and working, making decent money. It wasn't like I was broke. I had to change, but it was something about that when I met a gentleman named Paul Goss, and I met a few other people that were involved in natural medicine. And I had a couple of friends, and we started our own little store. Well, we rented this little store, and we were selling, little uh, pills here and there, and not and natural stuff that people needed. Not we weren't pushing, nothing bad. And one of them just told me one day because he had been to Compton and went to a session with Dr. Goss, and he told me about it. And he said, Nathan, you need to go out there and you need to hear this man. So of course that Saturday, I jumped in my car and drove out there, and there was a major change in my life, a major change, and I'll always give him kudos for that. I learned a lot from him, and we were friends until he left here. It's amazing how it's a God works His miracles on you, because there was some other things that were going on in my life prior to getting into natural medicine. Because I had did some of the libations and whatever. It's coming through youngsters and got out of service and whatever. But once I got into that natural medicine, all of that stuff went out the window. I had no part of it anymore. That's when something got a hold of me. It's had to be God, because man can't do those things to you a lot. Sometimes they can have a little influence on you, but that changed my life. And I've met a lot of other people, Dr. Joyce Willoughby, just people that were willing to share their knowledge. And I was soaking it up like a sponge. And it was just a beautiful thing, a beautiful thing. Traveling throughout the country, out of the country, and driving sometime because I was stopping through Jenkinsville to visit my folks. Other times I would fly to these places, and just people would just treat you so nice, and they look forward to seeing you come back. And God was providing me with the wherewithal that I could do all of that. And I said, there's still people that I hear from that I met 45 years ago. And I'm sure some of them are not still here, because some of the folks were much older than me when I met them. But it's just the feeling, to know that I have created through God, of course, I have created some things that mankind was able to use, and some of it is still going on. Some is still happening. And the saga isn't over yet, folks. So my plan is to keep doing this as long as I don't, I mean, I have the will to, and the health to, and the strength, and it's one of those things where it's something that you love, and you do it, and you do it with vigor. And people come in and say, nice things, and they smile, and you smile back, and you say, boy, I wouldn't change this for nothing. This is right down my alley. And so as you travel through life, find something that you can, latch on to that can benefit more than just you. There are many people out here in this world suffering, and a lot of them don't even know it. They're consuming all kinds of, things that they shouldn't be, alcohol wise, whatever. But there's also a lot of stuff that they're eating is doing the same thing. Because if you're not putting healthy plant-based food into your body mainly, and you're not killing everything with heat, and then if you are putting all of this in your system, you're doing a lot of things to your body that your body wasn't designed to do. So we want to get to the point where we put into our bodies, we treat it like a temple, not like a garbage disposal. See, your body is my mother used to say, if you lose this body, where you gonna live? So keep that in mind when you walk along the path of life, that God has put us here for a purpose, and we really need to be people that look out for each other and do what we can for each other. And it doesn't matter whether it's your sister, brother, or whatever. If it's a person, if it's a human being, then do what you can for anyone that is, asking for help. Because there's nothing greater than to be able to get someone coming in here and they go through a cleanse, and then they come back and hug you. If it's a man, he'll shake your hand and tell you how great he's feeling. And that is, I'm telling you, folks, there's not anything better than that for me, to know that I have assisted someone else in changing their life. They feel better. They're no longer hurting. And you don't go around and talk about it to them. You just do it, and know that they appreciated it, and they'll tell you they appreciate it. Anyway, the long story is that it's time for us to end this program today. So hopefully there's something that was said, heard, or whatever that made sense to you, and that you will have a better life because of it. Peace and love. Peace and love. God loves you, and so do I.